Hello, hello. Welcome back. It's been a while. Yeah, we're almost at Oktoberfest. Had a dream a couple days ago, and it's still sticking with me. So, gotta share it, gotta post, gotta be obedient. So, I was at a 7-Eleven. Now, Genesis 7:11 is about Noah and the flood. Jesus, YESHUA, said that the end times, the only sign he'd give is the sign of Jonah, right? But he said the end times would be like the days of Noah. What happened in the days of Noah? Well, fallen angels decided to have a, nookie with the daughters of man that looked fair and beautiful, and they had offspring, half angel, half man. I'm going to get this dream, but the reason for the flood, that man's lineage, or DNA or genetics, had been corrupted. All flesh had been corrupted on earth. That means animals, birds, insects, look at some hieroglyphics. Look at the 10 plagues and the Egyptian gods, and you'll see that they have a head of a frog and a body of a woman, or head of a jackal and a body of a man. There's so many of them. And each plague wiped out a specific god. But there's a whole study of it, and I don't want to get into that. But I think the 7-Eleven is very important. Now, it was at an intersection in my town that are two main roads, Olive, Verdugo. Look up those names and what they mean. There's a meaning to names, okay? Well, they cross at an intersection, and actually there's a smaller road that goes through, so it kind of makes a star, but it's an X and a star, which are very symbolic of gods that, I think it's Molech, and there's another one, a star god or something. It's mentioned, I think, in Psalms, or no, Job. But I didn't do my research, sorry guys. But here's the dream. I walked up to the 7-Eleven, doors are locked. And I'm like, wait, you're open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and it was locked. And I looked in, I peered in on the glass, and it was dark. There was no food on the shelves, there was nothing. And this Pakistani man walked up to my left, and he said, well, we're closed, and I'm like, really? Yeah, all been closed for like a week or a month. I couldn't tell. The feeling was it hadn't been closed that long, but long enough that I should have known. But I was like, I don't always go to 7-Eleven. Anyways, and we were at like dusk, kind of like twilight, where it's still light, but you can see the sun's going down, and all of a sudden, just rapidly, it got darker, right? And I saw clouds kind of like rolling in like cotton, but there was a light behind the clouds, and you could see like seams in between the little puffy things, so I can find a picture, I'll put it in the icon. So it started covering, and then it got dark really fast. And I'm like, okay, like too fast. Like, hey, it's light, and all of a sudden, bam! And then, wait, it's dark. But it wasn't fully dark because of the light up above, right? And so I'm looking up. Now in front of me, there's a 7-Eleven sign, and I'm looking straight up, above the sign, and I saw the moon. I'm like, wow, that was quick, right? And it was bright, full moon, big and bright. And then I look and I see there's a smaller moon next to it that's a little dimmer, right? Not quite behind it, to the left. And they were in a pattern like the dim one, the bright one, and then there was a full black moon. And I could see it because of the light behind it, right? Almost like the ring of fire when there's a solar eclipse or lunar eclipse. I don't know. I get them backwards. Anyways, so these three started to converge together, overlapping. So the dim one was behind, and then there was the bright one, and then in front of that was the black one. And they all started coming together, almost like they were going to be in full alignment. But I didn't see it. And I go, wow. Because the first time I went, wow, there's two moons, right? But it wasn't until the black moon showed up, and then I went, wait, there's three? You know. Then this woman appears in the parking lot, and she was standing next to an older Porsche that had like a Targa top on it, which has a ring, and the whale tail and everything. It's like the 80s version of a Porsche. And she's sitting there, and I'm like, okay, where'd you come from? But I'm like, all right. Then she approached me and asked me if I could give her a ride to a shooting range. And I went, what? She goes, yeah, tomorrow morning, can you give me a ride to the shooting range? I'm like, why? You have a car. In fact, you have a really nice car, better than the car I have. And so I asked her, where? Which shooting range? Because in my city, there's quite a few. There's one that I mentioned, Little Tahunga Shooting Range, but she didn't answer. And check the name of Tahunga. There's a meaning for that too. Then all of a sudden the scene changed, and I was in front of this house in the hills. And it was a pretty big house. I didn't go inside, but you could tell by the outside of the house it was pretty big. And there was a driveway up to a very large area, cement. Well, it was cement and brick. And there was a couple cars parked there, and her car was there, the red Porsche, which I don't know why, but she was sitting on the car, and I asked if she was hungry. All of a sudden, big rolls and they were cut, and there was meat and vegetables and sandwiches, right? I asked her if she was hungry. All of a sudden, appeared in her hand a sandwich, and then there was another one that was for me. I'm like, okay. And then I looked at the corner of the house. Off to the edge, there was a garden, and there was a scorpion. And it wasn't that big, but it was big enough, right? It was tan, kind of a tan, luminescent color, and the claws were pink. I noticed that, pinkish color. There was a small dog that was yapping, barking at it, trying to block the dog, trying to get to it. And I'm like, no, because, a little dog and gets stung by a scorpion, they take the dog out, right? So I was trying to block the scorpion from getting to anywhere where the people, the dog was, whatever. And then out of the bush jumped a possum and started attacking the scorpion. And the scorpion started clapping his claws, and the possum was hissing and growling. And then the scorpion scurried around my right and behind me, and the possum was chasing it. And they were in the bush, and they were wrestling around and everything. Then the scorpion came out, landed on my foot, just on the top part where the foot and the leg, the ankle is, and stung me right there. And I went, ah, right? Because it hurt. And then I said, oh no, I'm a goner, right? That's it, But I only felt a little soreness when it first stung me, and then it went away. I was like, oh wow, thank you, Holy Spirit, right? That it says that nothing will hurt us. So then, as I looked over to the woman, because she was still there, she had two middle school boys with her. One like 9 or so, another one like 13 or something. And they had blonde hair. She had blonde hair too. And she looked at me and says, yeah, they're mine. Which I'm like, okay. of course, I started thinking Revelation 12, a man-child being taken up, and then the mother running into the wilderness, right? Why were there two boys? Well, I think it's kind of prophetic because there was Ishmael and Isaac. There was Cain and Abel. And there was Esau and Jacob, right? There's a lot of twins in the Old Testament, which makes me think, and I'm just going to interject this, Cain and Abel, the punishment was for Eve putting enmity between, or maybe it's punishment of Satan, the devil, the reptilian, the dragon, between his seed and her seed, which means her seed, seed of mankind, his seed, the seed of reptilians, right? So Abel gave a perfect offering of an innocent lamb, shedding the blood of an innocent lamb, and God was pleased. Cain brought the fruit of the ground, but the fruit of his work. And he presented to God, and God said, nope, I'm not happy with that. What did he do? He turned around and killed his brother, Abel. And the blood fell on the ground. You know the rest of the story. But so there's the first murder. Well, let me see. Who's first? Satan wants to kill, steal, and destroy. So you can see there's a split, right? Just like Ishmael had, I think the Arabs say he had 12 sons, and so did Isaac had 12 sons. But I don't know. I mean, there's a split of Arab and Jewish. But anyways, let's get back to the dream. After she told me about her sons, there was a commotion in the garage. A bunch of noise and yelling and everything. I look up. The garage door is open. And it was my ex-brother-in-law. He was intoxicated, and he was angry at his son. He grabbed his son and said, here, you got to go play guitar, right? The band is waiting. Now, he played drums, but I don't know how that applies to any of it, but the other guys were waiting, then all of a sudden I woke up, so there's a gap, I guess, in terms of being ready and then thrust into, like 86th, but not 86th out of the garage, but, thrust into a position of a group. What does it mean? Well, there's a lot of, things in this video of the 2 moons or 3 moons. They could have been suns, but I don't think so, because I was facing like east, northeast, and the sun was setting behind me, and the moons were in front of me, above me, but there's a no food on the shelves. 7-Eleven, which was always open, was closed. I don't know what the woman in the red Porsche, but I think she needed a ride because her car wouldn't work. So the expensive, fancy cars didn't work. She wanted to go to a gun range. So Second Amendment. I'm just kind of reading in what I'm seeing here. The scorpion and the claw. Well, that might be another. Let me see. Yeah, a little yo pinch. Another thing. And I'm wearing this Pearl Harbor hat because for quite a few days, something's going to happen in Pearl Harbor. I hope not. I really hope not. But something in Honolulu, at Pearl Harbor, on the island of Oahu, this isn't thus says the Lord, but, I keep getting this nudge that, I've done other videos with this hat, but something about Pearl Harbor. pH, Pearl Harbor, pH balance of water, alkaline versus acidic. And acidic, we know cancer thrives in acidic environments. And a higher pH balance. But this is just me reading into all that, but it means something. And if you guys get anything, from this dream, and I wasn't really going to post it, but, it was another one of those, I was there, like vivid, you know. You could smell, you could feel, you could taste, you could touch, you know. It's like, is this a dream? No, it felt real, you know. So I gotta post it. Anyways, I love you guys. Jesus is the way. He is the truth. He is the life. There's no other way to get to heaven. There's no other name given by which a man can be saved. And in Romans, chapter 9 or chapter 10, whatever, you know, if you confess with your mouth and you believe in your heart, you'll be saved. Just like the eunuch and Philip, I think it's the book of Acts, he was reading the book of Isaiah. Philip explained it to him, and then he saw a body of water. I don't know if that's a pond, a lake, or river, or whatever. And he goes, what's to stop me from getting baptized? And Philip said, hey, if you truly believe in your heart that Jesus died for you and he was raised again, you know, you'll be saved. And he was baptized. So, anyways, love you guys. Can't wait to see you on the next video. There's going to be some good stuff. Anyway, see you, bye.